Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give all honor and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rekakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Lord, when this lesson be edifying to you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians who consist of the 12 tribes of Israel, right? Your fellow servant Yahawah, back with the Lord willing, edifying lesson, okay? Real quick, it's an in transit spiritual rant. And I was watching a video from camp, and one of the camp videos, and hey, just realizing that, man, hey, when the words come from a brother's mouth, you gotta understand and look past that. That ain't that brother speaking, man. That's the Lord. That's the Lord, speaking that, what need to be said in that time. A lot of us can get caught up on looking at that brother and him being, intellectual and having, we know he have the spirit and everything, but hey, ultimately, man, the Lord wanted that word to be spoken for that right time, so that way you can get for that could be for you or for another brother, or different things spoken at different times, for another brother, and it all was, all for the edification of the body. Okay? But we know that, the prophets, man, they're the Lord's mouthpiece. But it's not just a mouthpiece to the people and to the nations, it's a mouthpiece to us. Okay? Because we tell and we rebuke the world, we rebuke, these other nations, we rebuke, Israel, but we need to remember that, hey, the scriptures also keep us governed, and that rebuke can come from the brother next to you, man, and it'll be, it'll be said because the Lord wanted that to be said, man. Okay, and you can't get emotional, you know what I'm saying, and be thinking, oh, that brother know about my life, and all. No, man, the Lord know about your life. And the Lord knows what you need to fix, and that's the beautiful thing about it, man. Okay, that's the beautiful thing about it, man. The Lord knows exactly what you need to fix, and he'll send a certain brother. Okay, you might be a mighty in the spirit brother, he'll send a soft-spoken brother, a humble brother, not saying you ain't humble, but you more aggressive with it. He might send a less aggressive brother with it that say it, and it hit you hard. It hit you hard. Or you a less aggressive brother, and you dealing with something in your life that you need to correct. He goddamn, if the Lord needs you to hear it a certain way, he gonna pick a different brother for that purpose. Because every brother has a different spirit. We all, we all make up a body. We all make up a body of Yahawashi. So we all got different spirits and different things that are needed. And when it's called upon in that time, it's able to be edified, it's able to be received, it's able to be a good download in your spirit. Okay? It says rebuke a righteous man, and he will love thee, sluggy, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, but rebuke a scorner, he will hate thee. Okay? And it's like, we can't be caught up on looking on the outside, man. The Lord is really dealing, and the Lord is really speaking through his men. Okay? And that's concerning everything, man. So, hey, it's beautiful, man, because, something you need to tighten up on, a couple of screws you need to tighten up on, and you slacking and lacking on it. The Lord of goddamn have a brother, hit it right on the nail, man. Okay? And it does not feel good, bro. It doesn't feel good, and it's not supposed to, because that's something you need to improve on. That's something you need to improve on, man, and, and it don't feel good, man. It just being plain out and honest. It don't feel good, but it's benefiting to you. It's the jalapeno peppers into your body that gets those parasites out. In the sense, the parasites, think of the parasites in the spiritual sense, a blemish that needs to be wiped up. Okay? And that jalapeno, which is the spirit of the Lord, which is the words, that jalapeno come down and kill it, man. With his bitterness, and that's why he says, you got to take the sweet with the bitter, and the bitter with the sweet. It said this word was in my mouth, roughly paraphrased, I think it was Ezekiel. This word was in my mouth as honey, and then at the end, later in, it was bitter. You know, lamentations and woes. You know. What is another one? You got Slocky. You got it'll come to me, Lord willing, man. Lord willing, Yahawashi Yahawashi, it'll come back to me. But yeah, man, you know, you got things that you got to work on, man, and it don't feel good, man. You know, and it can feel unpleasant. The Lord had told us that, man. You know, though it seems to be unpleasant, though that feeling, you know what I'm saying, is agitating and trying to, you know, you feel like it's, you know, it's finna destroy you. No, it's for your betterment, man. That way you can be strengthened, and now you have something to be able to talk about on that subject, man. You know, that's it, man. Cause we all supposed to be, you know, continuously growing, being perfect as our Father is in heaven. You know, and getting our shit together and walking a straight and narrow line, man. But yeah, you know, when you hear a brother and if it hit right on your life, it ain't cause that brother peeping in through the window. Let me see what he talking about. I'm gonna rebuke that fuck nigga Saturday. No, man, it's the Lord that's looking into your life. It's the angels that's taking account of what you got going on, man. You know, and that's very scary, man. That a brother can be able to, you know, it's beautiful at the same time, but a brother can be able to say something and it goes right along with your life. And you sitting there, you quiet, you know. And this go for all of us, bro. All of us been in it, because if you don't get this type of feeling, bro, then you ain't pushing for righteousness. You're not trying to grow. You don't see nothing wrong with yourself, man. You don't see nothing wrong with yourself, dude. How you in captivity and you don't see nothing wrong with yourself, bro? No, man, it's something you goddamn got wrong. We all got wrong. How the fuck we end up here? But you know, yeah, man, we gotta realize, man, hey, right now on this side, bro, we're not perfect. Our righteousness as filthy rags, you know, and we gonna fall, okay, and we gonna get back up, and we gonna fall again, but we ultimately rising to the top, man. We rising to the perfection of Yahawashi Yahawashi, okay. We rising to that perfection status, you know, and that's ultimately gonna be in the kingdom. But for the ones that's pushing righteousness and putting it into action, you know, when something comes off their path that they need to work on, and it's been said from a brother, because the Lord's being merciful right now. The Lord ain't, you know what I'm saying, he ain't out there putting it at you. He allowing it to be said in the midst of you, and you know exactly what you need to fix, and you need to go fix that behind closed doors. Okay, work on yourself. You know, get better. You know. So that way you can be strengthened in that attribute. But yeah, man, we all need something to work on. So don't feel guilty when you feel like the Spirit is pointing at you. It might just be your season, man. Okay, it might be your season to get something fixed up and patched up and worked on. You know. So yeah, man, I just wanted to say that, bro. You know, we often can be next to a brother. He'll say a certain thing. We done got used to this brother. Oh no, that's just that brother. No, man. That's the Spirit of the Lord, Yahawashi Yahawashi. Okay? That's the Spirit of spoken by the mouths of the prophets. Okay? And I will give my words unto thee, all these scriptures, man. My secrets. Okay? All that, man. That come from the Lord, Yahawashi Yahawashi, man. And Thawada Yahawashi Yahawashi. You know, that's the mercy when he's able to rebuke you and don't nobody know exactly what's going on with you. You know, you fighting battles, but the rebuke was so, you know, merciful that it was able to be heard from you, and you go fix that and correct it, man. That's the whole point of rebuke, is to act on it, man. Okay, and fix that part of yourself. You know, and it doesn't seem pleasant for the moment, man. Okay, because it applies work. You know, Jay don't like the work unless you like Issachar. But spiritually talking, man, Jay like to think nothing is wrong with them, and it's a lot wrong with us. You know, it's a lot wrong with us, man, and we in this position because we failed. You know, so now we striving for the mastery. We striving for perfection. Okay, and it's gonna hurt when, you know, you hear one thing that you need to work on. It's gonna hurt. It's supposed to hurt, because at the end of the day, that's you trying to push for righteousness, man. That's you saying, man, I know better than that, man. I know fucking better than that, bro. Now let it get me this time. I know better than that. You know. That's where that part of perfection come. You know, that gold being tried in the fire. That's what the fire is, man. You know, going through those temptations, going through those battles, okay, and coming out on the other side. It ain't just the battles that's physical; it's the battles that's spiritually, man. Because it says the flesh warreth with the spirit. The flesh warreth against the spirit. Okay, so if the flesh is warring against the spirit, it says you in the flesh dwelleth no good thing. So you know it's bringing forth wickedness. You know the flesh trying to bring forth pleasures to drown you out. You know? And that's why we need these, you know, we need these reiterations spoken through brothers out there on the highways and byways. We need these readjustments to put our attitude in check, man. Okay? We need these readjustments, man, to put our attitude in check, to make sure we don't forget that we ain't that nigga. That we ain't, well, you know, that we just the almighty nigga. No, man. That's what we did. That's why I said, that's what Apostle Paul said, I bring in subjection under my body. If thy right eye offend thee, pluck it out. I'm roughly paraphrasing those scriptures. Yeah. So I just wanted to jump on here and say that, man, because brothers got things to work on, and the spirit gonna keep hammering it home, you know, and it's your job to fix it. It's your job to fix it, because if you don't fix it, but then the Lord can put that shit before the congregation and display it, man. And now you really look like a fool. And you still could be of the elect. But now that shame, it didn't have to go that far. Now you got this shame on you, and it's like, damn, man, you know, now I gotta change. Instead of just changing when the brothers was just speaking through the spirit, you know, the Lord putting that message out there, and that certain message was for you, you know. And then we all gotta work on that, man. You know, we all gotta work on that, man. It's just that's what part of beating your fucking self up is, man. Beating yourself into perfection, man. Making sure you working on the things that you need to work on, man. Okay, because in all reality, man, Yahawashi embodied what it is to be a humble, righteous, meek, stern, all these qualities in one. And it's like, damn, man, we really had no fucking hope here. Raised by women, a lot of raised by women, emotional and shit. So we gotta fight all that shit, man. That's killing. We said we are killed all the day long. A lot of the shit that we gotta put off that was attached to us like venom, that fucking demon. A lot of shit that was attached to us like super glue, you know, we still trying to jump out of that shit, man. You know, it was easy to flee from the picture of white boy Jesus. It's easy to flee, you know, from cigarettes. You know, it's easy to flee from easy to flee from stealing, lying. You know what I'm saying? But when you got to deal with your inner spirit that's been, you know, molded by this fucking wicked ass society, and now you trying to unmold it. You trying to, you know, come out of what they say? You trying to come out of that shell, that shedding stage of shedding the world. There's still things that might stick. It will stick to you a lot harsher than, you know, lying and stealing. No, it might be things you gotta dig deep in your bag, man, and realize, man, I gotta change that about myself, man. Maybe I ain't so humble. Okay, maybe I treat brothers wrong. Okay, maybe I'm not charitable enough. Okay, all these things, man. Okay, and it's hard to talk about, but like Elder y'all always say, you know, these conversations must be had, man. These conversations must be had. That's the only way we're going to enter into the kingdom of Yahawashi. Going through the straight and the skinny, the straight gate. You know, going through the bitterness. You know, It's easy to eat sweets all day, but can you eat bitters all day? Okay, and that's why you ain't really not meant to eat sweet all day nor bitter all day. You meant to have a balance, man. So yeah, so with that, I'm gonna say shalom, man. Tawada Yahawashi Yahawashi for apostles and elders, you know, who rule well and teach, you know, the righteousness, man. Okay, call on Yahawashi Yahawashi, Barakatah Yahawah, Barakatah Yahawashi. Until next time, shalom, man.